All right, statement is digitally recorded statement of Sergeant Kessem regarding log number 2021-000-2220. The interview is being taken at 1615 West Chicago Avenue on Monday, October 4th, 2021 at approximately 7:22 a.m. I am Investigator Madeline Coase. First name is spelled Madilyn, last name Kohs, Cool Badge 99. Also present is Supervising Investigator Dalkin, who will now identify himself for the record.
Supervising Investigator Andrew Dalkin, DALKIN, Badge 25.
Thank you. We have an attorney present. Attorney, please state and spell your first and last name for the record.
Joseph Andruzzi, Joseph Andruzzi, Andruzzi.
Thank you. And Sergeant Kessem, please state and spell your first and last name for the record.
Sergeant Amelia Kessem, last name spelled Kessem.
All right. And what is your star number?
2190.
And employee number? And what is your age and year of birth only?
45 in 1976.
And for the record, can you please provide a physical description of yourself? Height, weight, hair color, eye color, gender, race.
Sure.
Thank you.
Female white, approximately 5'7", 140 pounds, blonde hair.
Okay, thank you. What is your date of appointment?
It is 8 March of 1999.
And what is your current assignment?
Sergeant of Police in the 16th District.
And what other districts were you before there?
Before that, I was in the 8th District. Before that, I was in the 19th District. And before that, 23rd District. I was also at headquarters for a few years. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, and you were a sergeant for all that time, correct?
No. The time that I was a sergeant, I was initially assigned to the 8th District and then now 16th.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
sorry.
you. Oh, you're fine. Okay, got that. Are you aware you're here today as an accused sergeant?
I'm sorry?
Are you aware you're here today as an accused sergeant? As an accused officer?
Oh,
sergeant?
yes.
And are you represented by a counsel of your choosing?
Yes.
And are you prepared to give a statement today?
Yes, I am. For October 2021 at approximately 7:25 hours at the offices of COPA, I am being required to give this witness statement based on a complaint register number 2021-02220. It is my belief that I am not the subject of this
I'm sorry, no. Can we take a
Yep.
break?
Yep, we are pausing. All right, we are resuming.
Okay. For October 2021 at approximately 07:25 hours at the office of COPA, I am being required to give this statement based on complaint register 2021-02220. It is my belief that this statement will not be released in any subsequent proceeding other than formal disciplinary proceedings within the confines of the Chicago Police Department itself, and that department policy requires me to give this statement, and that if I fail to comply, I can be disciplined and or lose my job. Therefore, I am giving this statement today under duress. The statement I am giving at this time is based on the best recollection I have of the circumstances surrounding complaint register 2021-02220. While there may or may not be additional information, including any video, audio, written reports, or any other statements made in connection with this incident that can either corroborate or contradict the current statement I am making, my statement is true as I recall it to be at this time.
Okay. And prior to the audio recorded interview, were you served notification, charges, allegations, the administrative proceeding rights, and the waiver to request secure counsel documents?
Yes, I was.
And who served these to you prior to this interview?
My lieutenant gave them to me, actually.
Okay, and lieutenant's name and star?
David Haynes, I don't know his star. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, that's fine. And do you recall approximately what date these were served to you?
I don't know, it was a couple days ago, probably about 4 days ago.
Okay.
So, on the 1st, maybe.
Okay. The digital recording device that's being used to record your statement is very sensitive. That means any whispered conversations, banging on the table, shuffling of papers will be picked up on the record. If you or your counsel would like to request a break, please do so by stating you would like to or raise your hand and one will be given. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Are you aware the statement has a standing of official department report and that any falsification to any answer of any question would be a direct violation of department rules and regulations?
Yes, I do.
And you're also aware that failure to provide a complete and accurate statement could result in a violation of a Rule 14 violation and disciplinary action up to including separation. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right. And for the record, the only thing you read and looked through prior to this interview was his allegation packet. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Have you communicated with anyone regarding this incident other than your attorney?
Just my close friends and family I've talked to about it.
Okay. And what did that communication, what did that, I would say, come to? What was that talk or anything?
I just told them that there was allegations made and, that I had to go down here and give a statement about it.
Okay. Have you reviewed any audio or video regarding this incident?
Not audio or video, but I've reviewed the Facebook post for sure.
Okay. Anything else social media related other than the Facebook post?
Well, before that, I know that this particular allegation was posted somewhere on Twitter. It was sent to me, and that's how I initially knew that somebody was upset by my comments.
Okay. When and who sent you this Twitter post?
It was actually a coworker of mine at I'm a realtor. And so it was another realtor that I work with in a group. She sent it to me, and apparently somebody took issue with the comment that I made. So.
Okay. And then is this your first time knowing of this allegation through the department?
Yes.
Okay. And how long have you been a realtor?
Since 2002.
Okay. On June 7th, 2021, do you recall your duty status?
I was off duty.
Okay. And during the time of this incident, which was June of 2021 of this year, were you a daily Facebook user?
I don't know if I'd say daily, but I use it a lot, yeah.
Okay. And in June 2021, were you aware that your real name was obvious from your publicly visible Facebook page?
Yes.
And would you say that most people know who you are in the city of Chicago?
No. I wouldn't say that, no.
Okay. Would you say if people knew you as a sergeant from CPD, as well as since you were running for the Illinois House of Representatives for the 19th District?
We'll take a quick break.
Yep, correct. Taking a break. All right, we are resuming from council break. And I am going to reword my first question that we left off on.
Okay.
So let's start there. Did you run for the Illinois State of Representatives for the 19th District?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And would you say from running for that you had televised commercials, is that correct?
So that was not my doing. I had nothing to do with that commercial. It was a super PAC that actually by law on page 11, I believe, of the Illinois Board of Elections code prohibits me specifically from having any contact with that super PAC that actually put that commercial out there. If I had the opportunity to have told them not to put a picture of me in my uniform in a commercial, I absolutely would have told them, but by law I was not allowed to speak to them about any of that.
Okay, so you were aware that a commercial was on the TV, but you just did not have any...
I had no control over it. I will say this. I made very sure that everybody that was involved in my campaign knew that I was not allowed to, per general orders, state that I was a Chicago police officer.
Okay. And would you say when you ran for the Illinois State Representatives for the 19th District and your duty as a sergeant for CPD, would you say that some people would know who you are?
I don't know who knew if I was a Chicago police officer and who didn't.
Okay.
But I made sure that everyone knew that was involved in my campaign that they could not say that I was a Chicago police officer. And, I took great care to make sure that that didn't happen. Anything that was posted online, I went through my Facebook page and made sure that there wasn't anything on there that said I was a Chicago police officer.
Okay. And let's go back to the Facebook. So how long have you had Facebook, would you say?
I think I've had it since 2010, I want to say.
Okay. And do you recall how many friends you have on Facebook?
Right now, I think it's just under about 3,000.
Okay. And are most of your posts on your Facebook private or public?
Most of them on my private page are private.
Okay.
Unless, it's something that people want to share and they ask me, like, can you make that shareable? But then I have two other separate pages. One is for my real estate career, and then the other one is for my committeeman page. Because I'm an elected committeeman.
Okay. And you stated you were aware of the allegations via Twitter. Can you go back and explain a little bit more on what that Twitter post looked like?
So it was the comments that you provided, the attachments, and apparently someone had tagged, which is the real estate company that I was at, in the Twitter comment, basically saying, "Oh, I wonder how the owner of feels about Amy Kessem's comment," or something to that effect. And that's when I became aware of it, because that woman from my office, who I was in her group, she called me and she wanted to know what it was about. I explained it to her, what happened to me and my son just a few weeks before that. And the next thing I know, I'm getting a phone call, saying that they've severed ties with me from the company without even asking me my side of the story. They didn't have any content to it, nothing. And it was very disheartening that I wasn't even given a voice.
When were you let go from the real estate?
It was probably about 2 weeks after this post.
Okay. Do you know who was the Twitter user that sent these posts?
I don't. No. I can speculate, but that would just be pure speculation. I do know that it was originally posted by a Twitter account called again, I have no proof of who runs it, but I speculate to who that person is.
Okay. All right. And so in June of 2021 of this year, were you aware that you had a YouTube video link on your Facebook that brought to attachment number 23, which is like another commercial or something that was attached to your Facebook? It was like a little link. And then in the back, you could say it says Chicago Police.
Sure.
Were you aware of that?
No. I mean, it might have been there. I don't know. Maybe I somehow missed that, or it might have been on my committeeman page. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Excuse me, just for clarification, where did you get this link?
From this Facebook account.
From the one that with the allegations?
Correct. Yes. The Amy Terrell Kessem.
Okay. Did someone tag me in it, or?
No, it was on the feed.
Are you sure it wasn't on the committeeman feed?
No, because I only looked at this one since these posts came from that that Facebook post here.
Okay.
The pictures were over here, I think.
Okay.
They came from your Facebook that said Amy Terrell Kessem. So I didn't look into the other Facebook accounts of yours.
Okay. No, I was not aware. If I had known, I obviously would have deleted it or not have posted it. I don't know how that happened.
Okay. Would you say that having this link on your Facebook account that you were here today to talk about could show that you're representing CPD?
Take a break.
Yep. We are taking a break. All right, we are resuming from break from council. Sergeant, if you would like to continue.
Can you just
I
ask
could-
me the
yeah.
question?
So I was saying, due to this link on your Facebook that says Chicago Police and your picture and your name of your Facebook, could that convey that you are representing the Chicago Police Department?
So I would say that I can't speculate what people would infer by this. There's no indicator on my uniform that I'm a Chicago police officer. Obviously, the background says Chicago Police on there. So I can't really speculate what they would infer.
Would you
But-
mind if I ask a question?
Yes.
Because you're showing us a screenshot of what would be a YouTube video, you said?
Yes.
Does that name in red where it says Amy Kessem, does that remain on the page throughout, or does that go away?
So I think your question was, so the Facebook page was Amy Trail Kessem, and then down, a little far down, it had this link to a YouTube that had Amy Kessem, that name, on a link on that Facebook. So when you click it, it went to this.
No,
Are you talking about the video?
The
If you
video
watch
itself,
the video,
right? Because everyone has made an inference to it saying Chicago Police, and what I see is the word Chicago, and then I see an E on the bottom, but I do not see the word police. I think that everyone has made a presumption of what it says, but it definitely does not say Chicago Police. That's why I'm wondering if this red box stays in the video throughout.
Okay, yes, it does. And
So would it be fair to say then that the only thing that the post does in fact say is Chicago?
correct, it does only say Chicago.
Okay.
And then down here, it looks like that might be a starting of an O, and then obviously that's an L. And then
That's your
Correct, yes.
inference of that. But
you cannot see the word police.
okay.
correct.
For the record, I just want to make sure. And again, I have not seen this video, so I don't know that red box with the sergeant's name remains on the screen blocking any other words. I just want to put that. So I'm
Yes.
going to base this statement for purposes of this statement. Can we agree that the box stays there or not?
Yes.
Okay. So for the record, and I'm sorry to be redundant, what this shows is the word Chicago in the background and Sergeant Kessem's name underneath it.
Correct. And in a uniform.
In a uniform, correct. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add to what you were saying right there?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right. And have you had previous training in regards to the General Order G090106, which is use of social media outlets?
So as soon as I became aware of the department's policy about social media, regarding social media, and not using, the Chicago Police logo, anything referencing the fact that I was an employee of the Chicago Police Department, I did actually go through my Facebook page as best as I could and removed anything from it that said I was a Chicago police officer, because obviously when I first had Facebook back in 2010, it said worked at Chicago Police Department. I have since removed all of that. Now, I can't tell you with all certainty that I didn't miss something along the ways. Obviously, there's a ton of content there. I did do the best that I could with it. Obviously, that's how this was still there. If I knew this was there, I would have pulled that off, for sure.
Okay. And would you say, as like a sergeant, an officer, lieutenant commander, any person a part of the Chicago Police Department, are they not supposed to have any biases regarding race, religion, gender identity, sexuality, and so forth while working?
While working, yes. I will preface this. It should be understood that I am a devout Catholic. So I do have certain personal faith-based opinions about things. So that should be made aware.
Okay, thank you.
But your question was strictly on duty.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I don't hold any biases against people of any protected class, especially when I'm on duty. I respect all people, even those of the LGBT community. I would never do anything or say anything to them on duty that they would feel was disrespectful to them or their lifestyle.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and then we're going to go to the allegations here. For the record, I'm going to read it. it is alleged that on or about June 7th, 2021, via the World Wide Web and www.facebook.com, using the Facebook name Amy Trill Kessem, Sergeant Kessem engaged in misconduct through the following acts or omissions by commenting or posting, quote, went to the library today and this man who worked there tried to indoctrinate my 6-year-old with his gay pride decor. Not okay. I had to tell him 3 times to please stop. Can you elaborate on why you wrote that and what does it mean?
Sure, yeah. So, like I said, I am a devout Catholic. The Archdiocese of Chicago did spend a lot of time and money to train me to be a Virtus trainer. Virtus is the program that all volunteers that work with the Chicago Archdiocese must go through if they volunteer to chaperone, anything like that. And the Archdiocese trained me to be that person training other people who want to be volunteers.
Is that with the church?
Yes.
Okay.
So part of that training is to look for people or identify people who seem to be grooming, if you will. That's a terminology that they use in that training, grooming young children. This particular incident that occurred was very alarming to me in that sense, because it appeared by all accounts that this man was attempting to groom my son. And that's why I was so upset about it. It had nothing to do with, any kind of derogatory statement towards people of the LGBT community. It's not what it was meant to do, or to, that's absolutely not what the statement was about. It was about this complete stranger coming up to my son in the children's section of a public library and talking to him about something that he didn't have my permission to talk to him about. And frankly, my 6-year-old son wasn't ready to have that conversation. And when he is ready to have that conversation, I want to be the one to have that with him, not a stranger. So that's why I was upset.
Okay. And what did this man at the library say to your kid?
He came up to us when we walked in, and the first thing he said was, I can come up to you because I work here. And then he looks at my son without my permission and starts talking to my son about, he said something to the effect of, nope, that's not an optical illusion. You're really seeing that. And I was looking at my son and I looked at him and I was just so confused. And then I looked over to what he was pointing at, and it was these windows that were turning rainbow colors. Now, mind you, this was the beginning of Pride Month. The city of Chicago has a big celebration during Pride Month. I understand that. However, that does not fall in line with our faith. And again, I have no problem with people, what they choose to do within their lifestyle. I do draw the line when they try to instill those views upon my young, impressionable children. And I will stand up for my children and for myself when things like that happen. And so I was upset because I had to ask this man 3 times to please just leave us alone.
Okay. So, just to clarify, he was talking to your son regarding the pride window that was changing colors. Is that correct? Is that the only thing that could have been considered as, gay pride?
It was, I don't know for sure that that's what he was doing, but in the totality of the circumstances, given the fact that it was Pride Month, given the fact that it was a Chicago public building, that's what I was taking from this situation, and I wanted to stop it dead in its tracks before it went further on. And so I told him, I said, we're Christian, we don't believe in that. Please, just leave us be, we'll be fine. We're going to find our books and then be on our way. And he kept going, and he did actually use the word pride when he responded to me. I don't know exactly what he said, but I did hear that word come out of his mouth. And that's when I stopped him again. I said, sorry, I already told you. We're Christian, we don't believe in that, please just leave us alone. And finally, the 3rd time I told him, he just laughed at me and walked away. So we went on our way, we got our books, we checked out, we left, and when I was in the parking lot of the library, that's when I posted that. Because I wanted to give other parents, I guess, the voice to stand up for their children if something like this happened to them. It just, in my opinion, it wasn't right for a stranger to come up to me and my son and ruin what was supposed to be like a really fun day for us. I'm sorry. It was his first day of summer vacation, and we were going to the library and we were getting his books that he was going to read for the summer, and this man just came up to us out of nowhere and started interjecting his thoughts, or it didn't seem right to me. And so that's why, based on the totality of the circumstances, based on my training as a Virtus trainer, I just wanted to give the other parents the voice or the opportunity to speak up for their children.
Okay. Do you need a break or anything? A moment or anything?
Sorry.
No?
Can we go off record?
Yes. You're taking a break? All right, we are resuming from break council.
Just to clarify, and we didn't ask this before, during any of the breaks that we've taken, have we discussed this case with either of you during those breaks?
No.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Do you recall what you were stating before you took a break, or do you need a question or anything to get back into?
Sure, if you want to just pose another.
Okay. So we're going with the same allegation with the man in the library.
Sure.
So you did state that he was or could have been grooming your kid. For the record, can you describe what grooming is?
Grooming is a term that is used in the Virtus training where somebody who is potentially a pedophile tries to get the children to like them, if you will, to talk to them in a manner where they feel comfortable, and all of that is in hopes of gaining the child's confidence enough to then potentially harm them, in some sort of sexual manner.
Okay. And have you seen, this man who was showing your son the changing windows of the gay pride flag or colors? Have you had anything like that happen before with you and your son or your kids?
No, never.
Okay. Could someone, would you say, possibly come to a conclusion through that post on Facebook regarding the man in the library, come to the conclusion that you could be against or biased against the LGBTQIA community?
I think that if they did take that statement in that manner, I think that that's their implicit bias as to why they did that. But that's not in any way, shape, or form what the intent of that post was meant to be.
Okay. And can you clarify where you were doing these trainings with the church? What is that called again?
Oh, Virtus training?
Yeah. And so how long is this training? Is it years, months?
No. So I took it like a couple of years ago at a church out in Orland Park, and I believe it was like a 2-day session course. And then from there, I go back to my home parish, and people can register. Like, I set up a date and a time where people can register to take, I think it's like a 3-hour course. That was a long time ago. So I'm not a Virtus trainer anymore. I've since let my certification lapse. I just don't have time to do it. But I just wanted to bring up in this interview that is a significant part of the training, is to learning about people grooming children. And in that manner, based on what this man was doing, how he was talking to my son, I felt like that's what he was doing. And other people that posted on the comment after me also said that that's what it sounded, and they're Virtus trainers. They also said that that's what it sounded like he was doing as well. So.
Okay. And again, regarding that same allegation, could you see someone reading that could come to the conclusion that could be insulting as well to the LGBTQIA community?
again, I think that that's their implicit bias, if that's how they took it, but in no way, shape, or form was that how it was meant to sound.
Okay. And then the second allegation, same date and time and location, Sergeant Kessem engaged in misconduct of the following acts or omissions by commenting or posting, quote, filing a complaint would go nowhere. The left thinks it's their duty to do things like this. The fact that it's even allowed to be inside a public building, let alone the children's section, is absolutely absurd. I cannot wait to leave the Sodom and Gomorrah. So, can you explain what does that one mean?
Sure. So Sodom and Gomorrah is a biblical term. It means city of sin. I did actually bring a post that I posted from that post, or a comment I made, in response to that. Now, since I found out that people were offended by that statement, I deleted it. Like, as soon as I found out they were offended by it, I deleted it because they were taking it out of its context. The context to it was someone said I should file a complaint. I said, what I said about how it'll go nowhere. And the reason why I said that about the Sodom and Gomorrah was because recently there was a bill that was passed in the state legislature that was, they call it the sex education bill. And so if I can read what I posted on here, now this was the same day, if not the next day, it definitely was not on duty. I posted, again, I have zero issues with people who choose that lifestyle, meaning the LGBTQ lifestyle. I am not your judger or your maker, but I must draw the line when someone attempts to push their views and lifestyle upon my impressionable children. The constant attempt to sexualize, in quotes, them is growing stronger and stronger each day. This latest bill that the Democrats in the Illinois State Legislature passed is a prime example of it. And the latest poll that was conducted by Agden and Fry proves that 70% of Illinoisans disapprove of it. I will be posting this information on my committeeman page later today if you care to take a look at it. So that comment was more so directed towards the state of affairs of the state of Illinois and the sex education bill that was passed.
Okay. And then going back to the post with Sodom and Gomorrah, can you go into more detail on exactly what that refers to? I know you said the Bible and sin. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
It's a biblical term that talks about a city of sin, and that's, I'm not saying the city of Chicago is a city of sin, but obviously there's a lot of violence going on here, both in Chicago, surrounding suburbs, and I just, it could be taken in a multitude of different ways, like just this period of time that we're living in, this earthly world that we're living in it's like we're living in a Sodom and Gomorrah. It's just a lot of violence going on, a lot of sin, and that's what the statement was meant to be. It was not directed in any way to be a derogatory statement towards the LGBT community. I have friends who choose that lifestyle. When they ask me about it, I'm very honest with them. I tell them, what you choose to do in the privacy of your own home is your business. I'm not your judge or your maker. But in my home, in our faith, we don't believe in that. So I'm raising my children in our faith to, if they grow up and they choose a different lifestyle, then I know I did the best that I could to teach them our faith. But ultimately, it's going to be their choice. I'm not like the kind of parent I was going to say, you're not my child anymore. I would never say that. They're my child, Sorry, I'm getting upset again, but I have respect for all people. I don't push my views on them, and I don't think that they should be pushing their views on me and my children. That's all this was about.
Okay. And again, just for the record, so Sodom and Gomorrah, you said it was city of sin. And was it destroyed or burned down in the biblical sense because of homosexuality?
I don't know that to be true. I know that there's people who say that, but that's not what I read in the Bible. It's not specific to homosexuality. It's just in general, like a lot of sin, orgies, things of that nature, not specific to homosexuality.
Okay. All right, and then again, could you see how that post could negatively impact the LGBTQ community with the reading it?
I think that it was taken out of context. I think somebody took a snapshot of it and took it out of context and then posted it on Twitter without the rest of the information. And in that sense, I think whoever did that was trying to they were trying to make me look bad. They were trying to make me look like that's what my intention was. And that is the farthest thing from the truth. That is not at all what my intention was.
And I know you stated that you deleted the second allegation, that post, from your Facebook.
Correct.
Did you delete the first one as well?
No, I didn't.
Okay. All right. And do you think that these two Facebook posts, would you say, are appropriate?
I would say, looking back on it, I probably would have chosen not to do it just because I wouldn't want to be sitting here today. But again, the point of the post was to help give parents the ability to feel like they can stand up for their children if they see something happening that they don't think is right.
Okay. And
So I probably would have worded it a different way.
okay. And could you see how this could negatively impact the views of Chicago Police Department during these different communities such as LGBTQ?
No, I don't actually. I think that it's wrong for them to just take something that I posted and pick and choose what they want to post in order to make me look bad. I think if they saw the totality of the comments that I made, they absolutely would have seen that I don't have a problem with people of the LGBT community. I mean, not just this post, many other posts. I've wished people a happy Pride Day, before in the past on my Facebook page. They're my friends, I mean, it's important to them. So, I want to show support to them for that. That being said, I'm raising my children to live our faith. And so we both have to have that understanding.
Okay, thank you. Could you see how your comments could bring discredit to the Chicago Police Department?
No.
Do you believe your comments discredited or poorly reflected the Chicago Police Department?
No, I do not.
Okay. And that is it for me for the moment. Supervising Investigator Dalkin, do you have any questions?
I do have some questions. So I just want to ask generally about your campaign. So when you were running for 19th District, is that representative or senator?
Representative.
Okay. Did you have a campaign chairman?
I did. And then he resigned mid-campaign, and the chairman of the Northwest Side GOP Club kind of took over for it.
So who?
Before you continue, sir, are there any allegations, or are your questions related to these allegations? Because there was an investigation conducted by the Bureau of Internal Affairs regarding her campaign.
Well, I was basically just trying to get at what kind of input you had in campaign literature or this specific video. I can just go directly to this video and we'll save time. I was just trying to give a little background. So this video that's marked as, well, the picture is marked as attachment 23, but that's actually video. Is this the one that you said that the Super PAC actually did?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not allowed legally
Right.
to have anything to do with that.
So were you, prior to it actually being made, were you aware that it was being made?
No. Mm-mm. They were very strict, that Super PAC, not to talk to me about it in any way, shape, or form because that would violate the Board of Election rules.
Okay, and the picture of you, that is your picture on that.
It is.
Right.
So there's already been a complaint made against me and answered to specifically for this commercial. And in that, they asked me where they possibly got that picture, and I told them I have no idea how they got it.
But that is a picture of you in a Chicago police uniform.
I think that's your presumption. It's a picture.
Well, I'll ask you this. So the uniform that you're wearing in there, what uniform is that?
It is my uniform, and it doesn't, I'm sorry, it doesn't have anything on there that says Chicago Police Department.
Okay, but it is actually a Chicago Police uniform. But you're right.
I'm sorry, you're making a presumption.
No, I'm asking you a question. Is that actually your Chicago Police uniform?
Of course.
Okay. And in the background, I understand that the word police is covered, or what could potentially be believed to be the word police, by the red box. Is that the does that appear to be a Chicago Police logo?
Can we take a break?
Yes. Taking a break. All right, we are resuming break. During the break, did we have any conversations regarding this allegation?
Specifically, we did not. Specific to these allegations, we did not.
Okay.
All right, so let me just get back. I think that my question is that the logo in the background on that picture, is that the Chicago Police? Does it appear to be the Chicago Police logo?
It has the word Chicago. It's kind of blurry. So I guess you could say it appears to be, but
Okay, that's fine.
not 100%.
Would it be fair to say that, again, we're talking about one screenshot, maybe it reflects differently in the video?
Correct. I'm just I'm
Yeah,
only
no,
asking
and that's
based
my
on
point, is
that.
that it could be clearer, it could be more blurred out, whatever, but we're just talking about one screenshot.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you a couple questions about the library incident. So, the person that you had this conversation with in the library, did he work at the library?
He claimed to work there.
Okay. And were there other people that were in the children's book area with you at that time?
No.
So it was just you, your son, and this man.
Yes.
And had you ever seen this person before?
No.
I think you said that you had asked him 3 times to leave you alone,
Yes.
and he continued to question you or comment.
Well, finally, the third time, he finally did leave us, and he walked away laughing at me. So.
Okay. Did you, after that, did you ever speak to anybody at the library about that person and what that person was saying?
No.
You said that somebody had then tweeted the post out of context. Is that correct?
Correct.
How was it out of context? What was missing from the tweeted post?
I would say this statement
What
that
you
I
had
read.
read? Okay.
I think if they knew me and they knew, what I stood for, they would have understood why I was posting it. But clearly, I don't know how they got this information. I don't even know who my accuser is, right? I can speculate who that person is, and I'm probably right. But they definitely don't have access to my account. I think potentially somebody hacked into my account and took snapshots of it, because it was not posted publicly. It was posted in a private post where only my friends can see it. And I go through great lengths to vet the people that I accept as, I could have up to 5,000 Facebook friends. I don't, because I vet the people who are my Facebook friends before I do that. So
you had mentioned, I'm trying to find the name of that, the People's Fabric.
sure.
So obviously, the People's Fabric that you're aware of are not on your Facebook page.
Negative.
They're not
no, they are
friends
not.
of yours.
No.
And if somebody is a member of that organization and is a Facebook friend of yours, you are not aware that they are members. Is that fair to say?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, if they're members of that group, it's only because they want to look and see what they're posting.
Okay. And what is the a Facebook page? Is that a actual group of people that meet?
I don't know.
You don't know that?
I don't know. I just know they don't like me very much.
You also had mentioned that you were Vertis trained. Is that VERDIS? Is that
No,
VRTI?
VIRTUS.
I'm sorry about that. And then, does CPD know that you were Vertis trained? Did you
I
ever
don't
let them know that?
I don't know.
Okay. To the best of your knowledge, there's no violation with you being Vertis trained and being a Chicago
No.
police officer?
No.
I have nothing else.
Okay. Attorney, do you have anything?
I don't.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sergeant, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No.
Okay. If nothing further, I'm going to read the allegations into the record so that you can respond to them. All right. First allegation, it is alleged that on or about June 7th, 2021, via the World Wide Web and www.facebook.com, using the Facebook name Amy Terrell Kessem, Sergeant Kessem engaged in misconduct through the following acts or omissions by commenting or posting, quote, went to the library today and this man who worked there tried to indoctrinate my 6-year-old with his gay pride decor. Not okay. I had to tell him 3 times to please stop, end quote. How do you respond to that allegation? Do you admit or deny?
Oh, deny.
Okay. And second allegation, I'm going to just refer to the same date and time.
You mean like if I think it was misconduct? Is that what you're
Correct,
asking? Yeah,
yes.
no, absolutely not.
Okay. And then again, second allegation, referring back to the first, same date and time, Sergeant Kessem engaged in misconduct with the following acts or omissions by commenting or posting, quote, filing a complaint would go nowhere. The left thinks it's their duty to do things like this. The fact that this is even allowed inside a public building, let alone a children's section, is absolutely absurd. I cannot wait to leave the Sodom and Gomorrah, end quote. Do you admit or deny, or how do you respond to the allegation?
Deny.
Okay. Anything else further?
No.
Okay, if nothing further, the time is now 8:34 a.m. and this concludes the audio recorded interview of Sergeant Kessem regarding log number 2021, -0002220.